We are
We want the gold, sucker! We want the gold, sucker!
and we are live. Welcome back to another edition of the It's Real Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy Ben Goosen. What up, Sage the Mark? How you doing, bro?
You know, it's Thursday, and you know what? I gotta start off by saying, Goose, do you know what time it is? Do you know what day it is?
I do not.
I didn't think so, Goose. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Congratulations, Goose.
On what?
Sorry.
I'm lost.
I guess you are, man. Today is our 1-year anniversary for this podcast. To the
Is
date.
it really?
It is.
Is it October 5th? For some reason, I thought we started like a week before Halloween. Is today the...
Yes. Yeah, sir. Technically speaking, I think it was October 2nd was our first episode. But yeah, I mean, it is the week. So just happy anniversary, man. I definitely.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Appreciate you, riding the shit with me, man. It's been a pleasure.
We want the gold, sucker!
Wow. Man, I didn't realize it. My bad. I didn't realize it's been a year. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they said, "How's the podcast doing?" I said, "Man, we're approaching a year strong. We're light years ahead of where we were a year ago for sure. Light years ahead with the equipment, the sound, how quick we're getting the podcast edited for you guys, doing it live, being able to do it when one of us has got to be in town, out of town, solo, whatever the chances may be. Hey, congrats. Congrats to us.
Yeah, man.
Man, the 1 year show.
If we was drinking something, I'd be clinking right here with you, bro. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this nice water that's sparkling. That's not sponsoring our podcast.
This is straight up water today. Yeah, this might be one of those first podcasts that I've done where I don't have strep throat, I'm not all sick or something, where I don't have an ice cold frosty beverage in hand outside of some water today. So you might get uncharismatic boring Goose today. You might get real boring Goose, or I may just fall asleep halfway through the podcast. Well, let's get into it.
But we got predictions to go. You can't fall asleep on the job, so we got predictions today. Let's go.
We got a lot. There's a lot to get into today. So yeah, let's hop right into it. This week, good week of wrestling. Should we start with what do you want to start with?
Oh man, I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you, man. I mean, I've been running routes all day long. Can't figure out one thing from another. But I don't know, Goose. I mean, it's our 1-year anniversary, man. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Raw. Let's start with Raw because I want to talk to you about Enzo Amore. He went off on the roster. The Cruiserweight's main evented 2 weeks in a row. And can we talk about the ending of Raw? Because that ending, I'm not gonna lie, I'm digging Enzo. I've caught 205 Live just to see what's gonna happen to Enzo. So the marketing machine has worked. It's worked. The Enzo machine has gotten me. And it's good. It's good, man. I'm curious each week to see where it's going to go. He went off on every single one of them on the mic. By far. He went off on every single one of them. And I'm curious to see where it's going to go. Or at least I thought I was. Until Kurt Angle revealed the newest Cruiserweight superstar, Kalisto. That was the most unhyped, lackluster thing I could ever imagine. Ever. Like the most lackluster. Just lackluster, man. What do you think?
First off, shout out to Sean in the chat room. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I mean, with you, I've been invested with this whole storyline with where they're going with the cruiserweights for quite some time, man. And I, I honestly don't know where they were going with this one here, man. Like my excitement level was like a 20, and then I was like, oh, I knew that they're gonna have to find someone to take the belt off them that's not on the roster itself. So I mean, this would have been a great opportunity to bring somebody, and like a Rey Mysterio would have been pretty cool.
That's what I was thinking. That's the same. That's exactly who I was thinking. All right,
yeah,
Rey's coming back.
I mean, even if it was just for a couple of months,
just to put him over,
Rey
right?
Mysterio, yeah, just to put him over, win the belt, and then drop it to somebody else, so that way the cruiserweights and are not constrained to beating up Enzo anymore. But oh man, I kind of feel like they were gonna go with something like that, but just for whatever reason, it just didn't pan out very well. But I will say, man, it sucks, and it's hard for me to say that, man. My product now truly sucks. The way that you felt about the cruiserweights, the last 11 months that you used to rave on it. Now I'm subscribing to that notion right now.
Yeah. I thought it hit kind of a talented wrestlers, but it just kind of hit a boring spot. Neville was a flash of light in the pan, and Enzo, and then now just the only thing that could have been worse is if it was Sin Cara. But yeah, for something that was going so good, unless it's Kalisto just for Enzo to beat him and Enzo to get a W under his belt before he eventually rematches and fights Neville or something. But or even Double A, they could have. I doubt it would have happened if they would have brought Austin Aries back or something. Because the crowd, I don't know if it was just me, but the crowd didn't even pop for it, right?
Nope. I mean, I think we were all excited up until that music popped. And I don't mean pop in a good way. Just it popped as in like deflated the air in the room. Because everybody was just with bated breath. They were like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be that Rey Mysterio 619? Lucha. And then I swear that song sounds like a ripoff of shots.
It's terrible. Like it just a piss poor ending to Raw. It could have been so good. I don't know who else they could add outside of maybe Rey Mysterio or Austin Aries or something like that, but it just wasn't. It wasn't anything. I don't know. So what are you thinking about the Shield? Obviously, the Shield will be getting back together. We're talking about the end of Raw. That was the very end of Raw. Was the Shield in the same room? So I think the hype train. A lot of fans have the hype train about the Shield reuniting. The Shield reuniting. Reunited, then it feels so good. It's a little old school for y'all. But I think people. I can't get behind it. And I've said this for almost 1 year. Go back. Look, hit us up if you want to check out those archives. We'll send them to you personally. With Roman still wearing the same Shield stuff, the same Shield song, I'm not going to lie. It kind of takes me out of the excitement of the Shield. And I like that they're going to be facing the Miz Taraj, and the Bar, but I'm still just not getting excited about it because of they're basically just coming out the Roman Reigns theme song.
They are, I would say, probably in the minority myself included, bro, because like I'm marking the hell out that the Shield is getting back together, even if it's for a month or so. I still don't think we're gonna get the actual Shield song until probably until right before
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. I think that only makes sense that you do like that's the pop for the go home show is Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Shield.
I thought you were about to mess that up and spell it wrong.
Nah, bro. I before E except after C, homie.
Yeah,
I got it.
So yeah, hopefully, maybe because remember when that WrestleMania.
That's the hook. That's the hook, though, man. That's it. You know what, Goose? I don't think it's so much that we are marking out for the Shield reunion, so much as we're marking out to hear the calling card, the actual official theme song of it.
But then when they come out, it's still Roman Reigns' song, and he's not wearing anything different at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, do you think that CFO takes a chance and with the Shield? I mean, they have been hitting it out of the park with the theme songs. I mean, I gotta say, man, Baron Corbin's final theme song that they've debuted, I think last week.
Yeah, I did notice it was different. Well, and they upgraded Emma's song big time, real quick too. Maybe
yes, they did. Shout out to Mel Johnson. What's going on, Mel?
Silky Mel in the place to be. Silky Mel Johnson in the house. Maybe they just do like a remix or an updated version of the Shield's theme. Maybe I don't know if it's rock heavy or who knows. But that would be pretty cool if they updated the song. I think the feud will be good. I think the standout star of that entire feud will be The Miz.
Oh, hands down. Yo, did you see the pop The Miz was getting? I mean, yeah. And to be honest, The Miz is probably I know that we're marking more out for the Shield, but this is probably the best reaction to Roman Reigns that I've heard since the breakup of the Shield. Like, people are getting behind him inadvertently. It's more so they're getting behind the Shield thing, but they're seeing the pieces get together, and they Miz to kind of help like cultivate this second coming, man. And I absolutely, Miz, superstar of the year, bro.
Yeah, he might be. You know what I think is going to end? I hope it kind of ends with a quick Shield reunion, very brief, and then Ambrose turning on him the same way the Architect did a few years back. Just give Ambrose a solid heel run. Be a nice little plot twist. He could then, have a couple feuds here and there. Just switch it up a little bit. So I think it's going to be good depending on how it pans out. So if it ends up being Super Roman versus 4 other people, that's kind of what I do like, is that we're not going to have Super Roman that is going to kick out of 6 finishers in a 3-on-3 tag match. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of excited that we're not getting Super Roman. And this type of stuff, if you think about it, it's filler material. It's exciting. It's good to see, but it doesn't really matter who wins. Nobody is getting de-pushed by any means because we know the Bar and the Shield will have a close match. So it's perfect for them because it's kind of filler time. You're not getting a push or getting de-pushed, or it doesn't hurt your character really by winning or losing. You kind of just move on, but it's an interesting feud. And it's obviously, I would think, going to lead up to Survivor Series next month in some form or fashion. I think, is there another Raw pay-per-view before Survivor Series? There's got to be, right?
No, because the Hell in a Cell takes place. No, there is one. October 22nd.
That's it. It's
October
Asuka's 22nd. TLC. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. That's right.
Yes. So there'll probably be things are not going to get resolved at TLC for sure, man. They're building up to TLC. but things are not going to come to a head until we get to Survivor Series.
I agree. And Mel Johnson in the chat, watching us on the live version that we do on Thursday nights, just asked, "Where's Finn? Where's Finn at?" Well, it looks to me like, and that's a good transition into a good topic. That is, Finn Balor, the Demon, is obviously going to fight as his own demon version, Sister Abigail. So I think that's pretty cool for Bray, because we always talk about what's next for Bray. We kind of need something new and refreshing. So he's going to have what looks like to be his version of the Demon, and then one day we'll have Sister Abigail Bray versus Demon Finn. And maybe they'll come back with all those WrestleMania Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt stuff with the grubs and the worms, the projected worms in the matches, and it'll just basically be a CGI wrestling match.
Yeah, so I'm actually interested in this match, kind of say the least. I know that many people share the sentiments that it's kind of boring. These two shouldn't be really paired together, but we actually got a question this week from one of our listeners, and want to go ahead and give them a shout out. Spinning Backfist, you can see them on Twitter at Backfists plural there. But he wants to know, Goose, an alter ego version of Sister Abigail played by Bray Wyatt, or are we going to see an actual real Sister Abigail? And some of the ideas that he had passed along to us was that if he felt like it was a real Sister Abigail, who would want like a Ruby Riott or Nikki Cross to play it. I think Paige would be great personally, but wanted to see what you thought about that, Goose.
So if I had a choice on what I want to see, I'd kind of want it to see, I would want to see Bray Wyatt play Sister Abigail. And I think it could get really creepy because you could do pretty much anything you want, as long as maybe Bray changes up his wrestling style somewhat. Doesn't have to be drastic, and the finisher could still be the Sister Abigail, but maybe he's more aggressive. Like he's got a new look, a mask or something, and the hair, they take, if it's even possible, they take out the dreads, so he's got like this wet, slimy, nasty, oily hair. Maybe even put him in a dress, because normally people would think it's silly, like, oh man, look at this guy. Goldust used to do it in his comedy. You'd think it was silly if a wrestler's wrestling in a dress, but it'd be slimy and nasty and disgusting, because Bray's from the woods, remember? Louisiana, the swamps. And some wrestling boots. Basically, he needs some attire that's not his. That's what I ideally want to see. If I had to have a girl play it, I would want it to be definitely not Paige, because everyone knows now that's not Sister Abigail. That's a chick from England. It would make no sense if Sister Abigail, who's supposed to be from the woods in the swamps of Louisiana, shows up talking with an English accent. That just wouldn't do me any justice. I don't want to see Nikki Cross, because she's crazy and she already has the thing going with Sanity. Though, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing if Sister Abigail's a girl fight Nikki Cross one day. It'd be interesting. Not Ruby Riott. No, pretty much nobody from the Mae Young Classic. So I can't think of a girl, because I don't know of any that haven't already been on TV, or I don't know anybody that could fit the mold. But you never know, because
what if they casted Daphne from TNA Impact, the one who was in the final deletion, taking King Maxwell?
Oh, that's a good thought. I don't know what her status is or whatever, but yeah, that's certainly a possibility. She could pull it off. And it wouldn't be bad. What do you want to see?
Thanks for a question, Backfist.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Spinning Backfist. What would you want to see?
To be honest with you, I miss managers, man. I do. They bring such a special element to wrestling. It's almost a forgotten art. I think that this would be a good time to showcase a manager, like, to help Bray Wyatt get to that next level. I mean, look what it did for Cien Amos. Like, he went to obscurity to dude is top notch in NXT right now.
Getting a title shot at Takeover.
So let's not do this. I mean, let's do the same thing for Bray Wyatt. Let's give him a real Sister Abigail. And I mean, yeah, ideally, I get it with the whole Paige thing, but I mean, in the history of wrestling, how many characters do you know have gone through 3 or 4 different gimmicks? Why couldn't this be why couldn't this be the same? Like, I would love for her to reinvent herself into a different character and just kind of play it off as maybe he possessed her or Sister Abigail into Paige to make her more than what she is. And boom, there we go.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd get into it with Paige. It would take a while because you have to be able to really act and really play that character. And I don't know if she's a good actress and could play a dark character like that. It'd take a lot, but you just never know, right? What if they have JoJo do it?
It's too close to home, man. Too much of a distraction.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. So I got to confess, something I didn't do this week. I only watched the first, and I have a wrestling podcast, and I didn't do my research. So I didn't really watch Smackdown. I only watched the first 30 minutes. And
Damn.
I didn't have time to get caught up.
So did you at least watch the ending?
No, literally, I watched up until, and I don't know. Tell me about this. Why is Bobby Roode just annihilating Mike Bennett? Or excuse me, Mike Kanellis?
Oh, Mike
Why would they
Kanellis
sign that guy to some? Why would they? Is he in the doghouse? Why would you sign somebody to money and just bury him?
I mean, they did the same thing with Ty Dillinger and with Sami Zayn. Like, they don't have any.
Mahal.
Yeah, they just don't have anything for them right now, so they're just jobbing them out. I mean, it's ultimately just to job him out so that he can, like, he'll get his time. Trust me. Like, as soon as the baby comes, he'll have his time. Hopefully they'll switch up his name to Mike Bennett as opposed to.
Wait, what baby?
Oh, okay. So I thought you maybe okay. I think we might have missed something. So okay. So yeah. Apparently Maria is with child right now, and she's due in April. It's actually one of the reasons why we haven't seen them on TV lately. So yeah, congratulations to Mike and Maria Kanellis.
Is that official or is that some dirt sheet garbage?
No, it's official. Both of them had put it on their Instagram page, and you know this if you were, watched our Instagram page every once in a while, homie. I mean, we do follow them. Just saying.
Well, you know what about Instagram? I haven't even been using Instagram lately. I went on and I thought, you know what? And it's when I was in my office at home. And for all you fellas out there, you know about that home office where you get most of your social media done, you're texting, whatever it is, and you go in and mess with your phone and you got 15 minutes of peace and quiet. You know about that office. So I used to look at Instagram when I was in my office. And one day I noticed every single picture I got on there. Not ragging on anybody. I got good friends. They know that. Was family pictures and pictures of food. And I thought, all right, let me see something else, something interesting. Family pictures, pictures of food. I thought, man, I got to take a break. And that's when I went on. You know what I started getting into? Your favorite.
Hentai?
No, not the hentai. That's a different office visit.
that one requires an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah. 25 minutes to find what I'm actually looking for. No, I got into your favorite thing in the world. I've gotten really into checking out stuff on Reddit. I've been using Reddit more than Google lately to search for stuff. Yeah, so that's where my focus has been on. So I'll start getting back on the Instagram. Congrats to Mike and Maria. Hopefully it's going to sound way worse than I mean it to sound, but hopefully it's not a death sentence for their oh man, that sounds terrible. Hopefully it's not an obstacle that they have to overcome to have a long tenure in the WWE, because If you think about it, Maria's been in the business a long time. I've seen her at ROH. She's great. Maria was in ROH, an event I went to here in San Antonio, and the crowd was chanting for her, and they were hooting and hollering and whistling at her. She got on the mic and shut that crowd up. So she was able to talk on the mic. Like, that's a wrestling family. So I just hope that she comes back. When I say I hope it's not a death curse or an obstacle or anything, I hope to see her back. And I'm actually really pumped to see what Mike Bennett could do. And I thought that him and her could have been they could have been a Miz and Maurice of SmackDown, with Maria being the one on the mic. I thought that they were real adjacent, or maybe a little bit less version of the Miz and Maurice, but congrats to them. I just wish that I'd get to see more of them. And I understand that once the kids come, and that comes first, wrestling comes second. So I hope to see him again, but I definitely know it's not easy to say, all right, let's leave the baby at grandma's. We got to go back on the road 200 days a year. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens to him. But I guess since she's out and that was their gimmick, you now have really nothing going for him. So that explains why he's jobbing. Sucks, but.
And speaking of Bobby Roode, man, I'm not buying this face run, man. They need to turn this guy heel and quick. Like, he is floundering right now.
Oh, glorious thing going on.
Yeah, but it's more of a heel gimmick, man. And his wrestling style is all heel. Like, Bobby doesn't, no offense to Bobby, but he doesn't have a face moveset at all. Like, all heel, even to the point when someone, like when he's selling a surprise hit attack, he gets upset, and just like he does when he's a heel wrestler. Like, working, man. I feel like if he doesn't turn the switch quick, man, he's not going to be any better than Ty Dillinger was coming in originally.
Yeah, I really hope that he sticks around for a bit and the glorious thing doesn't get boring. But you're right, it is a naturally heel gimmick. Like, when he comes out of the ring, spinning around, he's got the robe on and the smoke and all that stuff. It's one of those natural heel gimmicks that people want to cheer for. Like Stone Cold, if you think about it, natural heel gimmick that we just ended up cheering for.
Yep.
You know, so I think that, yeah, I don't know where they're going with him as a face, but I'll just say I like having him around. I do want to see, I'm curious what happens with this AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Ty Dillinger thing. And do you remember last week, am I wrong? But didn't last week they said the Fashion Police would return this week on SmackDown, right? And I only watched 30 minutes of it because I stopped after the Maria Kanellis, or the Mike Kanellis versus Bobby Roode. I think it was the first 30, 45 minutes because I had something to do afterwards. I just didn't have time since to get caught up. And, I won't lie. I went and watched Cult of Chucky. New Chucky movie was on Netflix. I turned that on thinking I'll watch SmackDown afterwards, but I fell asleep. Good movie, by the way. But where was I going with that? Oh, man, I completely blanked out. Maybe I do need a beer next time I do the show.
Yeah, this isn't the first time that they've done that, man. I think it was like 2 pay-per-views ago.
Oh, yeah, the Fashion Police.
Might have been Red. Yeah, I think it might have been SummerSlam, where we were supposed to be promised the tag team, like they were going to reveal the tag team that trashed them, and we thought it all was going to be AOP that was coming, and then all of a sudden they nixed that. And I think John Cena last week was billed to have some type of conversation with Jinder Mahal, and that didn't even happen. Like, I don't know what's going on with the booking. Like, they're literally announcing things. It was actually 2 weeks ago, right after Roman Reigns.
Cena was going to fight Jinder.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So, and that never happened. So I don't know what's going on with the booking right now, but they're advertising things that are supposed to be happening that don't. So I'm wondering if this is just a marketing ploy for people to watch the network more or to watch the shows more. And if it is, I feel like that's kind of very deceptive. Like, you shouldn't do that. Like, it's one thing where, hey, I build John Cena to be at the next pay-per-view, but something happens and he can't make it. But it's another thing to intentionally say, hey, John Cena is going to be there with the Undertaker. And
yeah, no, I agree. I think you're right. So hopefully the Fashion Police will be on SmackDown next week. How did SmackDown end?
Okay, so Shane comes down the ring and cuts a promo. The promo was kind of weird because actually had a quick backstage segment with Sami Zayn, and he was very dismissive to Zayn. Zayn was just like, "Hey, this is a Kevin Owens I have never seen before. He's just very maniacal, and just very withdrawn. And when he's like that, he's very dangerous." And Shane was like, well, with all due respect, I'm going to go ahead and handle him face to face. He goes out to the ring, calls out Kevin Owens to do a face to face. Kevin Owens doesn't show. 2 minutes pass by, and then after Shane calls him, a coward for not showing, Kevin Owens comes down from the crowd, a la Shield style.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it comes down halfway. It's like, okay, well, then I'm going to come down there. And then he beelines it back up and says, no, you know what? I'll wait until Sunday. He beelines it, goes back up there, and he just disappears into the concession stands. Do? If you can't come down to fight me, I'm coming up there to fight you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he goes up to the concession stand, and he gets pretty much demolished, bro. Gets powerbombed through a concession stand table, which was great. Kevin Owens comes back down to the ring, does a quick little promo on it. And the funniest thing happened, bro. And I would say, if you go back and watch it, because it was freaking hilarious, man. Shane comes down the ramp, and people are just like high-fiving him. And this girl out of like nowhere comes in the middle of the aisle, twerking right in front of Shane McMahon with a beer in one hand and taking a selfie in the other hand, bro. It was, and I thought they were going to take that off of Hulu. Nope.
Oh, that's great. It's after he got powerbombed. I've got it still on DVR.
Yeah, after he gets powerbombed, Kevin Owens makes it down to the ring, and then like maybe 2 minutes later, Shane starts to come down the ring, and then about midway point when he gets down to the ring, that girl just comes out of nowhere, bro. Just like literally shaking that thing right in front of Shane,
great.
bro.
And that's great.
I was just like, yo, what are you doing? Oh no, girl, what's she doing?
Oh, that's great.
So and then God, I can't remember what I think he gets power bombed again or something like that, and then the show goes off the air. So that's kind of the way that it ended, man. But it was a good, the SmackDown wasn't that great, but it ended very solid. So I can't hate on that too much. I will say though, the promo that the New Day and the Usos cut, stellar, top notch. If you haven't gone back and listened to it, or if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it.
I think that's where I stopped off. The Usos were in the ring. I'm pretty pumped about their match coming up. But you want to get into these predictions? Should we get into these predictions?
Let's get in these predictions.
All right, let's get into these predictions. I'm pretty pumped about the New Day and the Usos. I think it's going to be every match they've had is just tore the roof down, man. I've got the Usos winning this one because the New Day doesn't need the championship, and I'm sure they could feud with just about anybody. There's not really any other heel tag teams that I could think of. The Hype Brothers might be getting a heel run depending on how they do this weekend. But yeah, I'd have to say I'm going to go with the Usos on this one. What about you?
Yeah, so I've got the Usos winning this one as well. I feel like the New Day is going to get some type of interference um, in this match. Uh, and it has something to do with what the Fashion Police was kind of stating. Now, originally I thought it was going to be AOP, but it doesn't make sense that AOP does it now, considering next month, which we'll talk about a little bit later after the
Oh yeah, we'll
prediction.
definitely talk about that.
And with that being said, man, yo, we need to get a drop for that predictions, bro. Like, we can't just like go in. We got to get some type of drop for it, man.
All right, I'll work on something. I'll work on something for you.
Gotta make it
I'll have something for sure by October 22nd. Because that's
Word.
the TLC predictions. So we'll definitely have
it's the
something.
TLCs. Yeah.
So okay, so you think the Usos are going to take it as well?
Yeah, it just makes sense for them to take the belts off of the New Day, and then something's got to happen between the New Day and someone else, so that way they can kind of be split a little bit from the titles. So I imagine that that's going to happen in some form of capacity.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what's going to happen is the Usos are going to win, and then they're going to end up feuding with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, who I do think this might be on the kickoff show. I don't know if it's actually going to be on the card, but I think Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are going to beat the Hype Brothers, the Hype Bros, and I actually think they've been teasing the Mojo Rawley kind of heel turn on Zack Ryder, but they could go with both of them just turning heel flat out and beating up Gable and Benjamin after the match, and just both of them going, with the I'm sick of this, I'm sick of trying to be hype and make the fans happy. Let's just flat out turn on everybody and be this heel tag team. Because we haven't seen in a long time since he was an Edgehead, a true heel Zack Ryder. So I think it could be something just a little bit different, switch up the game a little bit. And then you have the Hype Brothers feud with the New Day. And then Gable and Benjamin ends up feuding with the Usos. So it'll prolong the tag team division. So are you in the same boat? Do you have Gable and Benjamin picking up the W?
Yeah, it just only makes sense. This is like the second match, I believe, that's televised between Gable and Benjamin, so it doesn't make any sense to have anything less out with the W on this one here. Eventually they will split, but I think that's going to be closer to the Royal Rumble. Probably a little after the Royal Rumble to set something up at WrestleMania or something. But yeah, as far as this, I agree. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley need to turn and not separate. And I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Like turning one against the other doesn't benefit either one of them, because neither one of them are over in any capacity. So why should we ever care about a heel Zack Ryder or a heel Mojo Rawley versus a face Mojo Rawley or a face Zack Ryder when we don't care about either one of them? To care about them first before turning them against each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This has turned out to be a pretty good card overall. A good Sunday, especially. I don't know who's on the Sunday Night Football game, but yeah, a pretty good card nonetheless. Natalya and Charlotte, the Hart family versus the Flair family. I still got Natalya winning this one. I think it gives her a reign. Do you know what I mean? Like, it gives some cred to the title if it stays with somebody for a long time. So I've got Natalya winning this one. Charlotte hasn't fallen off by any means, but she's just not as much in the limelight. And, with her dad's health issues or just whatever, she doesn't need to be. That's why, and she's just great in the ring. So she doesn't need, we've talked about it before, wrestlers that don't need titles to be as good as they are or to really shine or to still main event. So I do have Natalya winning this one.
So let me ask you a question, Goose. Because this is probably one of the toughest ones for me to think about it. But let's say Carmella cashes in and wins. Who do you have her cash in on and win? Do you have her cash in on Charlotte or do you have her cash in on Natalya?
Charlotte, because when heels cash in on faces, it makes him that much bigger of a heel, and it really exemplifies that moment. You look at Edge when he cashed in on John Cena. You look at a lot of these guys that have cashed in and won that were heels. They didn't necessarily, not many of them did it against other heels. So I would ever do it against Charlotte, or just a face in general.
If you have her cash in on Charlotte, then the ideal time for her to cash in at this point in juncture would be at Survivor Series.
Yeah, because we're assuming that Natty's going to keep the title till then.
Well, because if Natty carries the title, she's essentially gonna carry the title through December, whatever pay-per-view that ends up being. But if you give it to Charlotte now and have Charlotte lose it after their 4-on-4 Raw versus SmackDown, which would make sense. Like, to me, that's how I would book it. Like, Charlotte wins this Sunday. She carries the belt to Survivor Series. They all fight in a 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 without Carmella there. Charlotte is the last person to be eliminated from the SmackDown roster. As soon as she's eliminated, FABOULOUS.
Yeah.
Cash in, 1, 2, 3, boom.
Yeah,
so
and remember,
that's the path that I'm taking, bro.
They still got to doctor up Charlotte's championship title reigns, because she's obviously going to catch up to Flair at some point. So she's got 13 title reigns that she needs to catch up to. So all right, you're going to go with Charlotte then.
Yeah, I got
else?
Charlotte winning this one, and
Orton.
Yeah.
Is he fighting Rusev officially? Was that announced on SmackDown?
He's definitely fighting Machka. And I got Machka winning this one, hands down. Machka needs it. Randy doesn't.
Yeah. As much as I would love Rusev to win, I don't think he's going to. I think we're going to get an RKO out of nowhere. You're right. Rusev needs it. Not really going anywhere very much, and he's awesome in the ring. Just an awesome wrestler to be on TV. But just, I've got the RKO out of nowhere. And then your boy, the one you're losing some steam on, Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Roode's winning this one, no doubt.
So this one, there's a question I got to pop to. Not pop to, but a question I got to pose to you. So on SmackDown, I don't think you saw the gimmick. Or not the gimmick, but I don't think I'm assuming you didn't see their promo together.
No, I didn't see much of it.
Okay. So Dolph Ziggler comes out to the ring and does his gimmick this week was he was like a band or something. So he had like a big old drum.
Yeah, he had the big drum.
And he was beating it. Yeah, he was just doing a drum line kind of thing. But he said something that was kind of under the radar, man. He said that come this Sunday, he's going to have the best entrance like ever that's going to play. So I'm thinking, like, at this point, I don't really care who wins or loses. I want to know what the hell this gimmick is. And I've got this funny suspicion that they might pull this off, and if they do, man, I will mark the hell out. This will get an A regardless of the rest of the card. If he comes out to CM Punk's theme song and music, bruh.
Yeah.
Dolph gets an A in my book, bruh.
Yeah, we knew he'll be trolling for sure. What if he copies a WrestleMania entrance? Like, you remember Cena when he came out and he had all the Cena imposters all dressed up? I think it was WrestleMania 21? Might have been. I think I was there. 21 or 22. We had all the other people.
Came up where he came down with everyone saluting him as he was running down the ring.
Yeah, and they were all dressed like him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if he rips that off? Like something like one of the special WrestleMania entrances.
Yo, I would mark the hell out for that, man. And I would. Not as much as CM Punk, but That would be damn near close, man. Damn near
Yeah.
close.
Do you think we'll ever see CM Punk back in a wrestling ring ever?
I don't even think we'll see him in the Hall of Fame, man. I mean, with Triple H taking over and the disdain that those two have for each other, like I feel like CM Punk is a very proud person with his own level of integrity. You know, someone screws him over. I don't think that he's the kind of guy. He doesn't really strike me as the type of guy that would ever go back to that well.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way that I see. I think that we would have probably seen him in like Ring of Honor or whatever, but he's just, I don't think he's got it anymore. He doesn't choose to have it anymore. He doesn't want it anymore. And I think he's perfectly content with the way that his life is without the WWE, minus the, you know, the lawsuit or whatever. But I think that we'll see CM Punk anymore, man.
Yeah, I would hope to see him again in the ring. Just unique character, just good on the mic, fun to watch in the ring. And it would come along, I'm sure, with AJ Lee. But yeah, hopefully he saved a good amount of money and he's not in he doesn't need to financially come back. So if he comes back, it's on his own terms and not because of financial need or anything like that. But yeah, salutes to the dude, man. I was a fan. Who did we? AJ? No, we officially didn't go over AJ Styles and Baron Corbin, but I think we've talked about it. What, a week or two ago? The three-way dance is coming, right? With Styles, Corbin, and Ty Dillinger for the title, like in a big match.
Oh man, like at this point, I don't know. And I got Bobby Roode winning, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Like it's because like the way that SmackDown came through, like Ty is like he's in the storyline, but in what capacity? I don't know. I truly believe Baron Corbin with that amazing intro that he now has with that music. It's just then. I think he's going to take the title off of AJ Styles, and I think that AJ Styles will. I don't think he'll be titleless for long, but he will quickly abandon his run for the U.S. title with no rematch. And I think that will set up a program between Ty Dillinger and Baron Corbin, who I think Ty Dillinger will eventually capture the U.S. title from.
Yeah, I don't know where AJ's going to go, but he's another guy who doesn't need a title. I mentioned it before. He doesn't need a title to get what he needs to get done in the ring. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go into the Shinsuke feud yet. I would just assume that's going to go on until WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to go into a Kevin Owens feud either. So maybe he'll feud with Dolph Ziggler after this just to pass time. Well, actually, you know what? We haven't seen Rusev and AJ Styles feud before, so that could be pretty interesting. Jinder AJ Styles. There's a lot, you know, now I think about it, there's a lot of non-mid-card routes that AJ Styles could go into. You know what I mean? Like, well, I just named a couple guys there that he could feud with, and I could picture him feuding with a very angry Jinder, because I'm going to go on the line here and say Jinder Mahal is going to lose this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. It'll be a decent back and forth match with tons of interference, but I've got him losing. I've got Jinder losing and Shinsuke winning the title.
I've got the complete opposite, man. I think that Jinder drops the title to AJ Styles, and Shinsuke wins an opportunity to fight AJ by winning the Royal Rumble.
That's a good way to look at it. The main event, I assume Kevin Owens and Shane is the main event, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be the the one that closes the show, man. And speaking, before we get into this particular match, man, I thought we were having 3 cage matches and not 2. But this
2 Hell
week,
in a Cell.
yeah, 2 Hell in a Cell match. Like I thought that when Shinsuke or when Jinder came out originally to confront Nakamura, he said that he would fight him in the cage in Hell in a Cell. And I felt like they went with that for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, out of thin air, like that, we're only going to get 2 cage matches.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I understood it. See, and because the way I understood it, it was for sure the New Day and the Usos inside the cell, and then Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens. Which, by the way, can I tell you something? I think it's silly to have a Hell in a Cell match where you have to say falls count anywhere. Because it either A, means you can get pinned outside of the ring with the whopping 4 feet you have between the ring and the fence, or B, which I think is the obvious sense, it just means they're going to escape the cage somehow, and it's just going to become a no DQ falls count anywhere match. I mean, it'll be good. I'm going to look forward to it no matter what. Do you think Shane's going to come off the top of the cell again?
I think Owens is going to go through the cage.
No, they won't go that far these days.
Oh man, like the bumps that have been taken recently, I feel like it's too obvious that I've got Shane winning this one. Like I know that his track record for these gimmick matches is that he loses, but I don't think that. Like I think that Shane is not going to be, or not Shane, but Kevin Owens isn't going to be satisfied with his victory, and he's going to go through the edge, but he's going to make one mistake where Shane capitalizes and wins it. Their feud is going to go through Survivor Series, where Kevin Owens will win that one. I think the mapping of this storyline, like I'm trying to figure out what their end game is here. And I feel like their end game is to have Triple H take over SmackDown. The only way to do that is if Shane kind of makes a deal with the devil. And if he does win, then he gets control or becomes the new commissioner of SmackDown. That's kind of how I see it going. But in order to get there, Shane's got to win one. And if he's going to win one, it's got to be a Hell in a Cell. That's the only one that actually makes it believable that he could win.
Well, I'm going to go the exact opposite and say Kevin Owens is going to kick his ass pretty bad, and that'll be the end of this feud. It was just something to kind of pass time. Just because Shane's not going to be around as a full-time guy, so I think it's just...
Damn you, Goose!
But that's not the big news of the week. There's our predictions. But let's get into what Sage really wants to talk about.
Son, your boy, sound the alarm because your boy's about to go off because it's coming down. What I've been telling you guys for the past 2 years since Sting came back, I told you guys that they needed to bring back Halloween Havoc. They needed to bring back Starrcade, and they needed to bring back, Goose, I'm going to let you do
it. Old War Games, and it's perfect because it's coming to NXT TakeOver. It's not coming to SmackDown, not coming to Raw. Do you know which teams are in it?
Oh yeah, we got the illustrious AOP making their return back to the ring, and then we got Sanity, and then we got.
That's all I know, man.
Oh really? All right, we got Sanity versus the AOP with I think Roderick Strong. And oh, dude, what's their name? The New Era? No,
the Undisputed Era.
That's it. The Undisputed Era. So It's going to be a good match. So it's 2 rings next to each other, right?
It's 2 rings next to each other, side by side, an elimination style match. And you know what? It's supposed to be encaged with a low, like a low fence ring. So that's the thing. That's the question. We don't know if it's just going to be side to side, or if 2 rings side to side, or if we're going to get the full War Games side to side with the chain link fence, the low cut chain link fence over the ring. And
they'll definitely have the fence. You can't call this War Games and not have the fence.
We getting War Games, man. I'm telling you, in my lifetime, we getting Starcade that we're not gonna get to watch, which I still don't understand that. But then we also getting War Games. I'm so excited.
I think Starcade's gonna be on. I think it's gonna be a network special, house show network special.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. Yo, big ups to Dusty. We love you, bro.
Yeah. So War Games is coming. It's going to be at NXT TakeOver in Houston. There's also the Fatal 4-Way women's match. Andrade Cien Almas is going to be getting a title shot at that same card. So, man, shout outs to him. He's grinded it. He's doing his thing, man. And he's, like you said, just the mention of getting a manager helped him out so much.
Yeah, buddy, man. You know, that's Austin Aries' girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you'd think he would have stuck around, just work at the same place as his girl, but I guess if it don't work, it don't work. So we got War Games coming up. Man, you're gonna be pumped. I know Houston's not that far from here too. We might have to take a road trip or figure something out.
Yo,
I don't know if I'll be able to swing it, but we'll see.
It's already confirmed. Your boy Sage the Mark is going to be there for both Survivor Series and War Games. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We ain't ever going to get to see this in our lifetime again, Goose. And on that note, your ass is coming too. I'll make sure of it. You coming with me. We're going to try to get the guys back together, the band back together, so that we can do this. And you know what? I'm feeling so good. I might even just get another ticket and give it to one of our listeners in a contest that we're going to have going on after next week.
Yeah, where's Survivor Series at? Do you know what stadium it's at?
I'm assuming it's going to be in the same building.
Well, the Toyota Center is where AT&T is, or where AT&T NXT is going to be, and that is where the Rockets play. So it's a basketball arena. Reliant is where the Texans play.
Isn't that outdoor stadium?
No, it's like a no, it's not an outdoor stadium. I think you might have went to see Beyonce there a few years ago.
I saw her in Dallas. No, no, you're right. I did see her in.
You've seen her twice, right?
I've seen her twice. That's right. Well, I didn't see her twice. My wife and my daughter saw her twice.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
you saw her in Dallas.
I saw Jay-Z in Dallas, and Beyonce happened to be there.
Wait, was it at Jerry World, right? The Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, that was at Jerry World.
Okay.
Huh, we'll
interesting.
We'll get the details. We'll get the details next week. You know, all the details. I believe it's November 14th for War Games and November 15th for Survivor Series. But yeah, you know what? We need to get that subscriber count up, man. So we gotta work for it, man. Yeah, we're gonna come up with a threshold by next week. If we get that threshold for next week, we want to send one of you followers to Survivor Series or War Games. We'll figure it out. One or the other. War Games probably cheaper. We'll break the bank, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to win some tickets on the radio and give out extra tickets. But yeah, you know what we might have
car
to do?
washes.
We'll figure something out, because if we're gonna go up there, I mean, it's only a 3-hour drive. It's not that bad, and we could even record the podcast on the road. We got a 3-hour drive. We could do a live show and everything. We'll figure something out. We'll have to figure something out. The last time I did 2 nights back to back. I didn't go to NXT. There was a takeover in WrestleMania in Dallas the next day. And I went up Saturday, watched NXT, and Sunday went to WrestleMania. So yeah, we'll have to figure something out.
We did one earlier this year too.
Oh, the Rumble. That's right. See, and that's the thing is, here's my issue. It's tough because when you say we got to get the band together, crew runs deep. So just in one circle, I have a mega circle. So the issue that I end up having is that there's too many people to buy tickets for. So then we end up having to sit somewhere else. I wish suites were easier to get, more accessible. Just get me a suite. That's what I want. Because it's not easy to say I want to purchase 15 tickets for my 14 other wrestling buddies. You know what I'm saying? But we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. It's just about being in the same city at the same stadium. Yeah, we'll definitely figure something out. So I didn't have anything else other than just crazy world we're in. At least wrestling was good this week. We got some good wrestling. You have anything else? Do you have any shout outs that you want to give or anything like that this week?
You know what, Goose? I do got a couple of shout outs, but while I'm getting that loaded, why don't you tell them about the little contest we got going on for WWE 2K18?
Yeah, pretty easy. All you got to do is take a pic of you rating, a little screenshot. It's pretty easy. A little screenshot of you subscribing, leaving a like, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, or rate to the podcast, Stitcher, iTunes, Player FM. Just take a screen grab and repost it on Twitter. You know how to find us at Ben Goosen, at Sage the Mark. It's not hard to find us. So find us, show us, and you can make it public if you feel like it. It's probably easier if you DM us, just so it's easier for us to keep track. Send us a DM with the screen cap of you subscribing, leaving a comment, rating, all that wonderful stuff. We'll put you in the raffle, and we're going to give away a copy of WWE 2K18 this month, in the month of October. I believe the game comes out actually next Friday, so we're going to be giving out a copy of that, and we'll reach out to you and figure out if you need to get it on PS4 or Xbox One. So that is our WWE 2K18 giveaway for the fans, the jobbers out there.
Because we love y'all. So with that being said, let's get into these shout outs, guys. Want to start off by thanking our recent followers. We got Elite at Lights03. I swear to God, this guy is probably unfollowed and followed us like 10 million times, man. Amine Millilito at Amine Millilito1. We've got no, you unfollowed us, man. You gets none. You gets none, son.
Nope.
We got Elliot Murray. We got Sports Fan 23. We got J Millions with a Z at the end, at J Millions with a double Z on Twitter. We got Mike Wayne. We got it's a friendly. I'm probably gonna need to censor this one. We got Dead Ass Podcast. Thank you so much for following.
What is that podcast about?
It says, we are James and Tiffany. Join us Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for talks about relationships, dating, and more. Hashtag symbols. Hashtag singles. Hashtag dating. Hashtag relationships. Yeah.
All right.
We got Corella de. Oh, I swear these names. I swear they're trying to kill me, man. We got Corella de Bit.
All right.
I can't say that all out loud, man. At Bella Doom Kitty, y'all go give her a little bit of love there, man, for the followers, I swear. And last but not least, for the followers, we have Simon Cowie. You can find him at Simon Cowie 11. Also want to give some quick Instagram love here to. I need to have these like written down or something like that before I start doing all this, man. So we got L Woods Cannon Farms, Clay.Dooley. We've got Donnie G83 with periods in between. We've got Mike Tully 12. I don't know that guy. That guy's got a weird profile, but y'all go give him some love. We've got Scatterbrain Podcast. We've got Horrified Chicken Podcast. We've got Sorry for Markin. We've got Toby_Toy. And then last but not least, we have 12 Toes Tiger. Thank you all so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing our podcast out there, and keeping us all interactive. That's what it's all about.
12 Toast Tiger, I called you out last week. You need to get your ass on this podcast. That's all I'll say about that, Daniel. Whoops, use your real name. Put you on blast.
Kayfabe's alive and well.
Yeah, we had a great week in wrestling. We just want to thank everybody for listening out there. Again, look forward to Hell in a Cell this weekend. We gave you our predictions, our comments. We gave you our thoughts. So go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at Ben_Goosen, at Ben_Goosen. Visit us on IRWP.us. Where could they find you on Twitter, Sage?
You can find me on Twitter at Real WrestleCast. Wait, I just gave the one for our podcast, bro. My bad. At Sage the Mark on Twitter.
Yes, y'all. So, hey, look, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Just peace, love, unity, and respect. Love one another. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And if you ain't keeping it gangster, you need to keep it real. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening. It's your boy, Ben Goosen. I was here with Sage the Mark. And we just want to let you guys know we got the Patreon account set up. Go visit us at IRWP.us. You can visit us on Twitter at Sage the Mark and at Ben_Goosen. Hey, quick side note, the thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the host and not of the IRWP. Remember, always, keep it real.